Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to History and Legacy Africa. Listen carefully, because the ground in the Sahel is shaking and the sky is turning into a fortress. The AES has just signed a pact that allows any of the Sahel nations to shoot down any foreign aircraft that violates their airspace. A few hours ago, the leaders of the Sahel, the young lion captain Ibrahim Traoré, the Iron Man General Abdourahmane Chiani, and the silent warrior Colonel Assimi Goïta, met in an intense and emergency meeting in Mali. They met to sign a death warrant for any enemy plane that dares to cross the line. Yesterday, I told you that Burkina Faso has denied a U.S. military aircraft entry into its airspace from Nigeria. The Burkina Faso Foreign Ministry, through its embassy in Nigeria, sent a direct warning to the Nigerian government for its constant violation of their airspace. The message was clear, loud, and final. This is why the Sahel is angry. Around 200 to 250 U.S. military personnel have been deployed to Nigeria, mainly in the northeast. The official story is that they are there to help the Nigerian government fight terrorism from Boko Haram, ISWAP, and kidnapping. They say they are there for intelligence sharing and training. On the outside, it looks like a helping hand, but the African eye sees the hidden knife. A few weeks ago, the Sahel military picked intelligence and sent a letter to the Nigerian government. They informed them clearly that these U.S. military personnel are not just looking for terrorists. They are spying on the AES. Nigeria has stationed these foreign forces right close to their borders with Niger. It is like putting a camera on your neighbor's fence. The Sahelian intelligence noticed everything. They saw the drones. They tracked the signals. They realized that while the U.S. claims to be fighting Boko Haram, their remote control is actually pointed at the Sahel revolution. The Sahel warned Nigeria. They said, "Reposition your visitors. Move them away from our borders." They were very humble. They said, "Nigeria is a sovereign country. You can welcome anyone you want, but do not use your soil to help our enemies watch us." But did Nigeria listen? No. Nigeria treated the Sahel like a small child who does not know what he is saying. They ignored the warning. And now, the result is clear for everyone to see. A U.S. military aircraft from Nigeria was seen again accessing the airspace of Burkina Faso without a single piece of permission. The Sahel blocked them and denied them access. Yesterday, the Sahel leaders were very angry. They sent a letter to the Nigerian embassy in Burkina Faso. They wanted to schedule a meeting. They wanted to talk like brothers to solve the problem. But shockingly, Nigeria turned down the request. They said they are not ready to talk. They slammed the door in the face of the Sahel. When the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso heard that Nigeria refused to talk, they knew what time it was. If a man refuses to talk to you after his dog bites you, it means he sent the dog on purpose. The Sahel leaders say if Nigeria is not ready to meet, it means they are fully aware of the spying. It means the violation is intentional. Immediately, the AES scheduled this emergency meeting in Mali. Goïta, Traoré, and Chiani sat around the table with fire in their eyes. They have now agreed and signed with equal understanding. Any aircraft that enters their airspace without prior notice or permission will be shot down immediately. They are not waiting for an apology anymore. They are not waiting for a phone call. They are waiting with missiles. This is not the first time Nigeria has tried this game. Late last year, the Nigerian military invaded the airspace of Burkina Faso without prior notice. The government of Captain Traoré seized the aircraft immediately. They remanded all the Nigerian forces on board. It was a total embarrassment for the leadership in Abuja. It took several days, even weeks, of apologies from neighboring country leaders. The phones were ringing day and night. Presidents were calling presidents, begging for mercy. At the end, Nigeria's foreign minister himself had to take a plane, fly to Ouagadougou, and stand before the Burkinabe authorities to personally apologize. Only then were the aircraft and the men released. It is clear Nigeria did not learn from that. So here we are again. The same Nigeria, the same mistake, the same disrespect. The Sahel is angry because they feel the president of Nigeria still does not give them the respect they deserve. They remember history. When these brave men took power to save their people, President Tinubu was the leader of ECOWAS. He was the one who proposed a full military intervention. He wanted to send soldiers into the Sahel to remove the AES leaders and bring back the old puppets. Thankfully, that idea was not supported. But the damage was done. ECOWAS placed heavy sanctions. They tried to starve the people of the Sahel. Since then, the relationship has been broken. The Sahel knows that President Tinubu does not see them as legitimate leaders. But listen carefully. The young lion and his brothers do not care about Tinubu's recognition. They are not bothered by what a big brother thinks in his palace. All they want is respect for their country. All they want is sovereignty. If you are a neighbor, be a neighbor. Don't be a platform for a foreign power to attack your brothers. The Sahel leaders have now put their pens to paper. They have signed the Pact of Fire. Whether the plane is from the US or whether it is flying from Nigeria, if it violates the Sahel airspace, it will be hunted, it will be targeted, and it will be shot down. Immediately after the AES signed the pact in Mali today, the military commandos in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali received a Code Red order. The order is simple. Do not ask questions. Do not seek clarification. If it is not a bird and it does not have a permit, blow it out of the sky. The Sahel has now agreed and signed with equal understanding to shoot down any aircraft that enters their airspace without prior notice or permission from their respective governments. When the U.S. military troops touched down in Nigeria, they did not come empty-handed. They came with about 5 aircraft and several surveillance drones. These are high-level machines used for intelligence gathering and tracking movements. When the Sahel heard the sound of these engines, they knew the truth. The Sahel reached out humbly. They spoke to their brothers in Nigeria. They said, "Please, guide your guests. Tell them not to trespass into Sahel territory. We are one people. Let us not have problems." But it looks like the words fell on deaf ears. Nigeria did not listen. Today, tensions are rising. On the borders between Niger and Nigeria, the Steel Shield is being activated. The Sahel intelligence is watching the U.S. military base in the northeast of Nigeria. They see the 250 U.S. troops moving. They see the 5 aircrafts warming up. They see the surveillance drones taking off like vultures. But this time, the Sahel is not just watching with binoculars. They are watching with heat-seeking missiles. The Sahel leaders say that if Nigeria is not ready to meet and talk, it means they are fully aware of what's happening. It means the spying is not an accident. It is a mission. It means the violation of the airspace is intentional. The Sahel are very angry, and they do not want anyone to take them for granted ever again. The AES believes that Nigeria's president, Bola Tinubu, still thinks he can treat the Sahel like a remote control colony. They remember how he tried to lead ECOWAS to invade their land. They remember how he tried to starve their people with sanctions. But look at the world today. The little brothers have grown up. The young lion is now the king of the savannah. The Sahel is not bothered if President Tinubu regards them as legitimate or not. They don't need a certificate from Abuja to be free. All they want is respect for their country and its sovereignty. If any aircraft flies from anywhere, including Nigeria, and violates the Sahel's airspace, that aircraft will be shot down immediately. This is signed, it is sealed, and it is the most serious warning in the history of the continent. The radar screens in Ouagadougou are glowing red. The soldiers are standing at the anti-aircraft guns. They are looking at the Nigerian border, waiting for the next visitor. The message to the U.S. military and the Nigerian authorities is final. The sky is no longer your playground. It is a graveyard for intruders. The AES has proven to the world that when brothers stand together, no superpower can break them. Captain Traoré, General Chiani, and Colonel Goita have shown that the Pact of Fire is stronger than any Western sanction. They have told the world that the life of a citizen in the Sahel is worth more than the friendship of a foreign general. The Sahel is angry, and they are ready to act. The missiles are locked. The soldiers are ready. The young lion has roared, and the whole world is trembling. The AES is united. The Sahel is protected. The sky belongs to the people. The radar is locked. The sky is closed. The enemies are running. The Sahel is invincible. This is History and Legacy Africa. Like, comment, and subscribe.